So if the woman is the prize, what would that make the man?
A piece of worthless wallet. They don't care. I don't know, just give me your money.
Wow, that's misogynistic. Welcome back to another episode of Idiot Influencers. Today I'll be looking at yet another breadtuber, Noah Samsen. Now if you don't know what a breadtuber is, it's a loose collective of far left-leaning commentators who cover as many small bits of drama as possible in order to gain views. Many of them just dunk on far right-leaning content, which is valid. My problem with these channels is that they always act like they have the moral high ground, and that if you slightly disagree with them in any way, you're an awful person. I've already covered Jake Doolittle, and now it's time to dissect someone even worse. So just like Jake, Noah makes incredibly boring commentary videos where he just sits there with the typical microphone setup and talks in the most monotone voice possible. Even more monotone than my voice. His videos are a lot longer and feature him rambling on about what he refers to as anti-woke content. Sometimes the video idea is valid, but much of the time he's just responding to stuff he slightly disagrees with. I mean, really anything that is not from a far left-leaning perspective is bad, just automatically bad to him. His audience of 16-year-olds doesn't really care though. They like being able to listen to someone with a big platform like Noah's, who agrees with their small worldview. Cause outside of that group, many agree that the stuff he's been saying is full of shit.
You have to remain body positive throughout this entire video. That is quite a challenge. I will try.
Okay, so he's a comedy guy, right? Humor is when you tell people to shut the fuck up because of the way that their body looks.
Noah's been criticized heavily by many online creators, even those with similar political beliefs. I'll get to that soon, but first I want to discuss his bad faith arguments. Something Noah does quite frequently is stigmatize certain words as dog whistles. He uses the terms black pill, red pill, fascist, and incel almost simultaneously, as a way to paint any slight opposition as the enemy.
Incel rhetoric, red pill,
red pillars or black pillars, red pillars, red pill,
fascist.
I wouldn't care as much if he wasn't against stigmatizing words like fat and obese.
Because stigmatizing fatness, as he's suggesting that we do, doesn't actually improve anything for anyone. It doesn't do anything good for anyone's health, mentally or physically.
So stigmatizing bad physical health, that's a bad thing. But stigmatizing virginity, now that's awesome. And then you wonder why people listen to Andrew Tate and participate in the manosphere.
According to his logic, it's okay to associate someone's worth based on whether or not they have sex, but not okay to do the same with someone's weight. He's just not very consistent and comes off as a hypocrite due to his lack of self-awareness. In mid-2022, Noah and the YouTube commentator Acheeto had a back and forth revolving around some Twitter banter. This resulted in Noah making a 40-minute long video on Acheeto, where he makes a lot of hyperbolic arguments. One is that he claims Acheeto is a misogynist, for making jokes at the expense of a few select women.
A message that focused primarily on humbling women and holding women accountable, which when done on the internet via content and to women you do not know, is really just code for putting women down. We've been over this. It's the same thing we saw Acheeto do in his reaction.
They're not talking about the species of women that exist in the entire world. They're talking about the handful of delusional women that spew crap in these types of videos.
He also claims that Acheeto's video might cause acts of terrorism and hate crimes just because he reacted to a clip reposted by a dodgy Twitter account. The clip in question shows an 8-year-old boy arguing with his mother about if she forced him to be pansexual or not. Acheeto's video isn't anti-LGBTQ, it's mainly making fun of the mom for being a bad parent, because in the same clip she is fine with the young boy cussing on a TikTok livestream. But apparently making fun of this leads to terrorism, as Noah then brings up some random ass story of a bomb scare as an extreme example.
Just yesterday, another bomb threat was called into the Boston Children's Hospital, all over a false story not unlike this one being spread by that media pipeline.
So he very quickly goes from Acheeto was apparently dishonest for framing a video a certain way to a bomb threat was called into a fucking children's hospital and he's an idiot for not being more careful with what he talks about because then he could make a video that's gonna make somebody threaten a hospital. Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? No, I don't care if you call me an incel or a fat phobe or a cyberbully or anything like that. That means nothing to me. But for you to basically say that I am a gateway for terrorist threats is kind of where I'm gonna draw the line. Noah, none of my audience are terrorists.
Another feud Noah had was with the YouTube channel Think Before You Sleep. This is a channel I occasionally watch for its incredibly well done research on various social issues and well constructed arguments, though I'm not a fan of how much he uses the term woke, and some of the criticism he gets is a bit valid. In June 2023, he made a video about a series of Dove ads, which he criticized for being lazy and not having any sources for the study it's based on. Noah decided to make a response to this, where he claimed sources weren't important, and then went on to cite the wrong one. He also cites a source which he obviously didn't read beyond the abstract, as it said the complete opposite of what he was trying to argue. Think Before You Sleep then made a video about how to do good research, where he uses Noah as a bad example. He spends 50 minutes debunking all of Noah's sloppy research, presenting how all of his claims are based on nothing. I'd recommend watching the full thing, as it's too long to discuss here. Link in the description. In this section, we'll be discussing the Debate Bros drama Noam got himself into. It's not drama I care about particularly, but it needs to be mentioned as it leads to a greater point. It all started in September 2021, when the political streamer Vaush posted a debate between him and someone known as Professor Flowers. The only thing notable about it is that Flowers tried to associate all white people as being colonizers, and tries to justify racial cleansing. Vaush tries to fight back on this and gets interrupted multiple times by her. Vaush got a bit of pushback from this, which resulted in more pointless debates of other streamers. Noah then joined in on this drama by posting the video, Solving the Debate Bro Problem, in February 2022. Here he spends over an hour rambling on about the leftist debate bros, specifically mentioning Vaush. Previously he mentioned liking Vaush, but got pushed back and realized it was better for him to hate on the guy. Noah tries defending Professor Flowers throughout, leading to many other channels criticizing him. This led to Vaush and Noah debating, which didn't end well for the latter. Noah ends up walking back every single statement he ever made, while still trying to have the moral high ground. There's a moment where Noah insists Flowers doesn't use the term white and colonizer interchangeably, and Vaush just pulls up a tweet where she straight up says that.
Look, you can like pull a tweet that says that, and you can pull clips that allude to, again, a complex conversation about race, whiteness, and colonization.
Can you find any
and
evidence of her saying that it's not, that this isn't a synchronous?
I mean, have you like watched all of her videos back? I'm not sure if you have.
No, I don't think she's very smart.
Okay, well then this is just a waste of time, like, to try to convince you. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to convince you or your audience that, like,
Noah.
If you're just
Noah, you are currently the one with nothing in your hands, arguing against evidence that hundreds of thousands of people have seen, in which she unambiguously, as directly as you can, said the thing you won't accept. The only thing that I can assume this is, apart from maybe you two are like secret best buddies or something and it's like a personal thing, is you understand that if you fall on this point, you fall on the next one. I am, because this is an enormous waste of time, just going to rip the L from your hands. She said what she said. She thinks white people are colonizers. If you are, with respect, too spineless to own up to the fact that she clearly... No,
dude, this is...
Wait,
like...
Noah.
No one ever brings up any evidence for his claims, and just comes off as a spineless idiot who only agreed to debate him over spite. Initially, Noah claimed that he enjoyed the debate, but walked back on it after he got backlash. He then unlisted his original video, and uploaded another where he criticized Vaush. 2 months later, he made the video public again, since he's apparently really proud of it despite the hate it got. This dude is all bark, no bite. Once he gets hate, he'll try to fight it off and fails. He then tries to hide from it before going back to do the same thing again. Because after this drama, he went back to dunking on Vaush and other debate bros on Twitter. He even liked a tweet of someone unironically wanting Vaush to be put down like a dog. He got banned on Twitter a few months later over some tweet about Chud Logic, where he wished death upon him. Do I think it's ban-worthy? I think it's debatable. Still a weird thing to post for someone like him who constantly tries to portray himself as some wholesome, quirky video essayist. He would then get called out by Xander Hall and Keffels of all people, due to his unhinged behavior.
I was very clear in my videos, my first videos taking down Noah Samsen's comments, that I truly believe he's not a good person. So yeah, the fact that he's liking tweets saying that Vaush should be killed, not surprising. And I guarantee he wasn't liking that tweet because he thinks it's a ironic, funny joke. These people are genuinely sociopathic.
God, I feel like my head is going to implode after reading up on all this drama. I swear the worst enemy of leftist content creators are themselves, rather than the red pill creators they try to go after. Because to be fair, Noah did a good job at roasting Sneeko during their feud, but sucks at every other feud he gets himself into. He's a spineless coward who doesn't know how to back up what he's saying, and constantly ignores evidence to the opposition. I mean, you know it's bad when you let Vaush and Keffels be the good guys in all of this. But surprisingly, this isn't even the worst drama he got himself into, as we'll now discuss. So Patience Xina is a YouTuber who likes to discuss social politics from a more nuanced, censor-leaning perspective. Something I really appreciate about her videos is that she explains both sides of each argument and doesn't necessarily dismiss any of them. In September of last year, she made a video on the whole Little Mermaid controversy, where Disney cast a black actress to play a previously white character. Her take is that while some of the backlash does stem from racism, a majority of it comes from legitimate reasons. 2 months later, Noah made a response to this, which singled out Patience as being this pretentious, centrist type who is ignoring the actual racism in the controversy. A few days later, Patience released this massive response, which I highly recommend you watch in full, though here I'll be giving a SparkNotes type summary to this. In Noah's video, it claims that the legitimate criticism of the Little Mermaid remake is not being driven by racism, though states the complete opposite by the end of the video. Patience brings up how often Noah uses terms like conservative, anti-woke, and alt-right to label the opposition as the bad guys, trying to make this discussion more political than it has to be.
But of course Noah has to drive home the point that the redhead erasure points are being pushed by conservative commentators, because of course Noah's purpose of this video is political. He disagrees with me and he doesn't like the fact that some of my views align with conservatives because he finds that to be very, very problematic. Because he says within his own video, I'm growing very rapidly and in the process I'm going to grow a larger audience of people who will be able to hear my views, and that is concerning to him.
Noah's take becomes extreme when he insists that Ariel might as well be Aryan and says this shit.
They used artificial intelligence to fix a real black actor by making her white. So like, why stop at the skin? Make her blonde, make her eyes blue while you're at it. Tattoo a swastika onto the frog.
Yeah, none of that had anything to do with the video, but he just felt like spouting out buzzwords like he always does when labels Sebastian a frog. What drugs is this guy on? Patience actually brings up multiple times where Noah makes up his own arguments that have nothing to do with the video, because most of his audience didn't bother watching her video, instead just leaving comments about how she's a Nazi. Halfway through Patience's second video, she showcases the opinions of various black creators, those who agree that race swaps are lazy pandering. A big point made by them is that instead of representation coming from previously white characters becoming black, there should be more original black stories.
So Patience's conclusion in this video is that instead of race swapping these characters, we need more black stories. Stop the pandering remakes and make new, good, non-white centered stories instead. This is by far the best reason one could give for disagreeing with Bailey's casting. It's the most popular reason, found in plenty of other YouTube videos and many comment sections. And it's also, I think, profoundly unconvincing.
When I tell you, when I first watched that part, I died.
Profoundly unconvincing.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Noah. I didn't realize that I had to convince you about my feelings about my representation. The superiority complex is wild. Like, Noah, who gave you the authority to tell me how I should feel about my representation?
Noah makes the point that many who latch onto the controversy don't really care, and are using it as an excuse to be racist. This would be a good point if he didn't word it like Patience and others with their beliefs are propping these people up intentionally. He's basically saying that she shouldn't talk about this so a select few won't get attention, despite him and many others giving them attention.
Noah is so far gone with his far left ideologies that he now does not care about having actual conversations. All he cares about is winning. That is literally what he cares about. He has decided that the far left is his team and that is who he wants to defend all the way to the end. Even though the stuff that I'm saying also echoes the sentiments of many black people who are sick and tired of having race swaps be our main form of representation, he is uninterested in that because all this is to him is a game of politics. And I am just a piece on a chessboard and I am not moving in the way that he wants me to move. And so that is why we have a problem.
By the end, it's flat out revealed that Noah doesn't give a shit about the topic and only went after Patience for one reason. She has a mixed audience. She has an audience of those on the left, right, and center, which Noah views as a gateway to the alt-right. He doesn't want those on his corner of the internet to explore different perspectives, because then they won't be in as much of an echo chamber. Noah essentially just made a video explaining to a black woman how she should feel about her own representation. And again, this guy doesn't care about the Little Mermaid controversy. He's using it as an excuse to further diminish a perspective he will never understand. And FYI, Noah, a big reason why Disney gets most of the hate for race swaps is that this is the same company who will remove scenes showcasing LGBTQ characters and cover Chadwick Boseman's face for foreign releases. They don't care about representation, they just want money. People like Alex Hirsch have been calling them out on this for years, but they don't care. Noah just needs to stop talking. Dude has demonstrated time and time again that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Almost every feud he's been in, he's lost. He got owned by Acheeto, Think Before You Sleep, Vaush, Xanderhal, Keffals, and most importantly, Patience. The only times he does own somebody is if there's somebody like Sneeko, someone who's already an internet punching bag. Someone I haven't actually brought up yet is Asan, who probably is one of the only big content creators backing him up. In fact, the two share an audience since Asan reacts to his videos all the time. Would he be successful without him? I don't know. Noah's hated amongst many different online communities, and relies on a fanbase who's slowly turning on him too. In fact, quite a few of his fans turned on him due to the Patience Xina video, resulting in that upload having a bad like to dislike ratio. Noah's just a boring guy, sitting in his room talking about random crap of his knockoff Freddie Mercury mustache. He said some dumb shit, but hey, at least he's not Nick is not green.
After reporting on this story in both of my videos, I will say that I believe Daniel's suicide should not have been a part of the story. I do not believe that means that I should ignore and disregard any mention of Daniel in my story.